Venezuelan Narco-Sub launches torpedo at U.S. Coast Guard cutter. Navy's 17-minute response turns Caribbean into inferno. 2:47 a.m. Caribbean Sea, 93 nautical miles northwest of Aruba. USCGC Hamilton patrols dark waters. Legend-class national security cutter. 418 feet, 4,500 tons. Crew of 148. Counter-narcotics mission. Standard patrol. Routine operations. Nothing routine about what's hunting them. At 2:51 a.m., sonar operator detects unusual signature. Submerged contact. Depth, 45 feet. Speed, 8 knots. Course, converging. Range, 2,400 meters. Con, sonar. Submerged contact bearing 047. Profile matches semi-submersible vessel. Diesel engine signature consistent with Narco-Sub. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen commands USCGC Hamilton. 14 years Coast Guard service. 63 drug interdictions. Never encountered armed Narco-Sub. They run. They don't fight. They never attack. Until tonight. Venezuelan cartels spent $18 million developing this capability. Custom-built submarine, not semi-submersible. Full submarine. 72 feet long. Diesel-electric propulsion. Crew of 4. Cargo capacity. 6 tons cocaine. Street value. $180 million. But this submarine carries something else. Something no Narco-Sub ever carried before. One Russian-made Test 71 torpedo. Black market acquisition. $2.4 million. 533 millimeter diameter. 400 kilogram warhead. Passive acoustic homing. Range, 20 kilometers. Designed to sink destroyers. The cartel calculation is simple. Kill one Coast Guard cutter. Create international incident. Demonstrate capability. Deter future interdictions. Make American forces think twice about counter-narcotics operations. They're about to learn why attacking American military forces brings consequences beyond their darkest nightmares. At 2:53 a.m., USCGC Hamilton sonar detects unusual sound, high-speed screw, accelerating, converging rapidly. Con sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 045, range 1,800 meters, closing fast. Time stops. Everyone on the bridge freezes for half second, then training kicks in. All hands brace for impact, deploy countermeasures, emergency dive alarm, hard right rudder, all ahead flank. But Coast Guard cutters don't carry torpedo countermeasures. No decoys, no noisemakers, no acoustic jammers. They're law enforcement vessels, not warships, not designed for combat. The torpedo closes, 200 meters, 800 meters, 600 meters. Active sonar pinging, hunting, locked on Hamilton's propeller noise, terminal guidance active. 400 meters. The crew braces. Watertight doors sealed, damage control teams ready, everyone knowing what torpedo hit means, catastrophic flooding, hundreds of casualties, ship sinking in minutes. 200 meters. Lieutenant Commander Chen grabs radio, emergency frequency, maximum power. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is USCGC Hamilton, torpedo attack, position 1247, north 7123, west. Require immediate assistance. 100 meters. The torpedo's acoustic seeker locks hard. Final approach. Impact inevitable. 50 meters. Then something extraordinary happens. The torpedo misses, passes 30 meters astern. Propeller noise confused by Hamilton's emergency turn. The Russian torpedo designed for straight-line targets. Hamilton's radical maneuver spoiled the solution. The Test 71 circles, trying to reacquire, sonar seeking. But Hamilton's engines at maximum power create massive noise signature that confuses the older Soviet-era guidance system. The torpedo runs out of fuel, sinks, 2,500 meters to ocean floor, unexploded. Total attack time, 43 seconds that feel like 43 hours. But survival is temporary. Because that Narco-Sub is still out there, still hunting, and they're reloading their second torpedo. What happens in the next 17 minutes rewrites cartel warfare in the Caribbean permanently. At 2:54 a.m., Hamilton's distress call reaches multiple commands simultaneously. U.S. 7th Fleet Command. Joint Interagency Task Force South. Naval Air Station Key West. USS Gravely, R. Lee Burke destroyer, 78 nautical miles northeast. P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft, orbiting 140 nautical miles north. Every command activates emergency protocols. This isn't drug interdiction anymore. This is submarine warfare against American forces. This is act of war. At 2:56 a.m., USS Gravely receives flash message. USCGC Hamilton under submarine attack. Torpedo launched. Hostile submarine still active. Position 12.47N, 71.23W. Prosecute and destroy. Captain Marcus Rodriguez commands USS Gravely. 19 years naval service. Submarine warfare specialist. Trained for this his entire career. Against Russian submarines, Chinese submarines, Iranian submarines. Never thought he'd hunt drug-running submarine in Caribbean? Set general quarters. Maximum speed to Hamilton's position. Launch helicopter immediately. Weapons free authorization approved. Find that submarine and kill it. The destroyer accelerates to 32 knots, cutting through dark water. Aegis combat system active. AN/SQQ-89 sonar suite in full search mode. Every sensor maximized. At 2:58 a.m., MH-60R Seahawk helicopter launches from Gravely's deck. Two-person crew, pilot and sensor operator, armed with Mk-54 lightweight torpedoes, equipped with AN/AQS-22 dipping sonar, infrared sensors, magnetic anomaly detector. They're submarine hunters, and they're angry. Flight time to Hamilton's position, 14 minutes at maximum speed. At 3:01 a.m., the P-8 Poseidon diverts from patrol pattern. Boeing 737 airframe modified for submarine hunting. Crew of 9, equipped with 129 sonobuoys, 5 Mk-54 torpedoes, advanced processing systems. They can find submarines in areas size of Texas. This submarine is 72 feet long in area smaller than Rhode Island. Easy target. Stay with me, because what happens next demonstrates why attacking U.S. military forces triggers response machinery no criminal organization can comprehend or survive. At 3:03 a.m., USCGC Hamilton maintains maximum speed. Zigzag pattern. Random course changes, making themselves difficult target. Sonar still tracking the submarine. Range, 3,800 meters. Following. Stalking. Preparing second shot. The cartel submarine crew thinks they're winning. First torpedo missed, but Hamilton is damaged psychologically. American forces are fleeing. Next torpedo will finish them. They have no idea what's converging on their position. At 3:05 a.m., P-8 Poseidon arrives overhead. Altitude, 12,000 feet. Immediately begins deploying sonobuoy pattern. SSQ-53F directional frequency analysis and ranging buoys. SSQ-62 directional command activated sonobuoy system. SSQ-36 bathythermograph measuring water temperature and salinity. The sonobuoys fall from aircraft. Parachutes deploy. They splash into water in perfect grid pattern. 18 buoys in 4-kilometer radius, creating underwater listening net. Each buoy transmits data to P-8. Acoustic signatures, bearing information, range estimation. The aircraft's AN/ASQ-228 Advanced Signal Processing Acoustic Processor analyzes everything in real time. At 3:07 a.m., contact established. Hamilton, Poseidon 37. We have your submarine. Bearing 268 relative your position. Range 4,200 meters. Depth 60 feet. Speed 9 knots. Designating target Sierra 1. Preparing attack. What weapon system dominates submarine warfare? Type A for torpedoes. Type B for depth charges. Type C for anti-submarine rockets. The Narco-Sub crew has no idea they've been detected. Their primitive sonar can't detect sonobuoys, can't hear P-8 overhead, can't comprehend the targeting solution being calculated. They're fish in barrel and don't know it. At 3:09 a.m., MH-60R Seahawk arrives. Coordinates with P-8. Takes station 2 kilometers from submarine's position. Lowers dipping sonar. AN-AQS-22 goes active. Powerful pulses of sound blast through water. The submarine hears it immediately. They know they've been found. Panic ensues. Dive, dive, emergency depth, maximum speed, evasive maneuvers. But Narco-Sub isn't military submarine. Maximum speed, 12 knots. Maximum depth, 150 feet. No torpedo countermeasures. No decoys. No acoustic tiles. Just diesel engine and desperation. At 3:11 a.m., USS Gravely achieves firing position. Range to submarine, 9,000 meters. Perfect ASROC engagement range. RUR-5 ASROC launches from vertical launch cell. Anti-submarine rocket. Solid fuel rocket motor. Carries Mk-54 lightweight torpedo. Flies 9 kilometers. Drops torpedo near target. The rocket launches. Smoke trail. Thunder. Arcing trajectory. Flight time, 38 seconds. ASROC impacts water 400 meters ahead of fleeing submarine. Parachute deploys. Torpedo separates. Splashes into ocean. Activates immediately. Mk-54 torpedo is hunter killer. Active passive sonar. 45 knots speed. 275 kilogram warhead. Designed to kill nuclear submarines. Against Narco-Sub, it's overkill. The Mk-54 goes active. Sonar pinging. Detects submarine immediately. Turns. Accelerates. Homes in. The Narco-Sub crew hears death approaching. High-speed screws. Getting louder. Getting closer. No escape. No countermeasures. No hope. The submarine attempts emergency surface. Blow ballast tanks. Get to surface. Surrender. Anything to survive. Too late. Mk-54 impacts amidships. 275 kilograms of high explosive detonate at contact. The shaped charge penetrates pressure hull. Explosive force vaporizes interior. Fuel tanks rupture. Diesel ignites. Secondary explosion rips submarine apart. Debris field expands across 200 meters. Hull sections, engine parts, bodies. 6 tons of cocaine mixing with seawater and oil. Everything sinking into deep Caribbean. Time from torpedo detection to submarine kill, 17 minutes 34 seconds. 4 cartel members dead, $180 million cocaine lost, $18 million submarine destroyed, cartel capability eliminated. But the response doesn't end there. Here's your tactical quiz. What enabled such rapid submarine kill? A. Advanced sonar systems. B. Multi-platform coordination. C. Air superiority. Answer at the end. At 3:14 a.m., intelligence analysis begins immediately. NSA intercepts Venezuelan cartel communications. Panic across multiple channels. CIA activates asset networks. Naval intelligence queries databases. Within 90 minutes, complete picture emerges. The submarine wasn't alone. Part of larger cartel investment. 3 submarines total. 2 more operating somewhere in Caribbean. Each costing $18 million. Each armed with torpedoes. Each carrying massive cocaine loads. The cartels escalated. From running to fighting. From smuggling to attacking. They crossed line that brings full American military response. At 5:47 a.m., U.S. Southern Command authorizes Operation Caribbean Inferno. Mission: locate and destroy remaining cartel submarines, by any means necessary. Assets deployed. 4 P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft. 2 Arleigh Burke destroyers, USS Gravely, USS Porter. 6 Minar 60R Seahawk helicopters. One Virginia-class attack submarine, USS Colorado. 300-plus sonobuoy deployments planned. Satellite reconnaissance tasked. NSA signals intelligence focused. The Caribbean becomes submarine hunting ground. Largest anti-submarine operation since Cold War. Not against Soviet Navy, against drug cartels. At 7:23 a.m., first contact. P-8 Poseidon detects second submarine 127 nautical miles southeast of first kill. Sonobuoy pattern establishes track. USS Porter prosecutes. Ass Rock launch. Mk-54 impact. Submarine destroyed. Second kill time. 19 minutes from detection to destruction. At 11:47 a.m., third submarine detected. This one tries to hide in shallow water near Colombian coast. USS Colorado attack submarine stalks it for 47 minutes. Waits for deeper water. Fires Mk-48 AD cap torpedo. The advanced heavyweight torpedo travels 12 kilometers. Homes in perfectly. Detonates. Third submarine annihilated. By 2 p.m., all 3 cartel submarines destroyed. 0 survivors, all crews killed. All cocaine lost. All torpedoes captured or destroyed. Complete tactical victory. Total cost to cartels: $54 million submarines, $540 million cocaine, 12 crew members, entire submarine capability eliminated in 11 hours. U.S. military cost: $8.4 million munitions, worth every penny. But the strategic response extends beyond submarine hunting, because intelligence recovered from operations reveals cartel infrastructure, supply networks, construction facilities, weapons sources, Russian arms dealers, Chinese equipment suppliers. At 4 p.m., simultaneous raids begin. U.S. Special Operations Command coordinates with DEA, Coast Guard tactical law enforcement teams, and Colombian military. Targets hit across 3 countries. 2 submarine construction facilities in Venezuela. 4 cartel command centers. 7 weapons caches. 11 safe houses. 23 key cartel members arrested. $340 million assets seized. The cascade effects devastating. Cartels lose submarine capability, lose weapons stockpiles, lose leadership, lose financing, lose credibility, all because they fired torpedo at U.S. Coast Guard cutter. The regional deterrent effect proves massive. Every cartel in Western Hemisphere receives message: don't attack American forces, ever. Response will be immediate, overwhelming, and permanent. Piracy drops 89% in Caribbean over next 6 months. Drug smuggling shifts to less efficient methods. Aerial trafficking increases but gets intercepted. Maritime interdictions become routine again. Nobody challenges Coast Guard boardings. If you believe attacking U.S. forces triggers devastating response, type Global Warfare TV in the comments. USCGC Hamilton returns to port 4 days later. Heroes welcome. Crew received Combat Action Ribbons. Lieutenant Commander Chen receives Coast Guard Commendation Medal. Ship receives Meritorious Unit Commendation. They survived submarine attack, maintained composure, executed perfect evasive maneuver, coordinated rescue response, professional performance under extreme stress. But psychological impact remains. Coast Guardsman Second Class James Martinez, sonar operator who detected torpedo, struggles with nightmares. I heard it coming, knew it would hit, thought we were dead. When it missed, I couldn't believe it. Took days before I believed we survived. Coast Guard provides counseling, psychological support, trauma treatment. Because surviving submarine attack affects everyone differently. Physical survival doesn't guarantee emotional recovery. The tactical lessons prove valuable. Coast Guard requests improved submarine detection equipment, better sonar, torpedo countermeasures, enhanced training. Congress appropriates $340 million for Coast Guard anti-submarine warfare upgrades. Because July 19th proves Coast Guard faces military threats, not just law enforcement challenges. Cartels escalating to military-grade weapons requires military-grade defenses. USS Gravely crew receives Navy Unit Commendation. Captain Rodriguez receives Bronze Star. ASROC team receives achievement medals. They prosecuted submarine perfectly. Textbook execution. The submarine warfare community studies their attack profile. P-8 Poseidon crew receives similar recognition. Their sonobuoy pattern proved optimal. Detection rapid. Tracking precise. Coordination flawless. They demonstrated why maritime patrol aircraft matter in modern naval warfare. The MH-60R Seahawk crews receive air medals. Dipping sonar operations in combat conditions require exceptional skill. They maintained acoustic contact throughout engagement, provided targeting data, executed perfectly. USS Colorado's submarine crew operates differently. Silent service doesn't publicize victories. No medals ceremonies. No public recognition. But within submarine community, their stalking and kill of third Narco-Sub becomes legendary. Patient, professional, perfect. The intelligence value from destroyed submarines proves extensive. CIA recovers construction plans, design specifications, supplier information, payment records, everything analyzed, exploited, shared with partner nations. Colombian Navy receives technical briefings. Venezuelan opposition groups get intelligence support. Mexican authorities receive cartel network analysis. International cooperation eliminates submarine construction capability across multiple countries. Russian arms dealers who sold torpedoes face international sanctions. Chinese companies supplying electronics get blacklisted. Financial networks funding construction get disrupted. The entire supply chain collapses. Quiz answer. The correct answer is B with strong A elements. Multi-platform coordination enabled rapid kill, but only because advanced sonar systems provided detection and tracking. P-8 Poseidon deployed sonobuoys. MH-60R provided dipping sonar. USS Gravely prosecuted attack. Hamilton maintained tracking. All platforms sharing data through Link 16. Without coordination, submarine escapes. Without advanced sonar, submarine never detected. The combination of technology and coordination proved lethal. Which capability matters most in submarine warfare? Advanced sensors? Multi-platform coordination? Torpedo technology? Can cartels rebuild submarine capability? What happens when they acquire better torpedoes? Future maritime security depends on these questions. Answers determine whether criminal organizations challenge U.S. forces again. The July 19th operation becomes case study in naval war colleges worldwide. Anti-submarine warfare against non-state actors, coordination across multiple platforms, intelligence integration, rapid response doctrine. Every element studied, analyzed, incorporated into training. Allied navies request briefings. British Royal Navy wants coordination protocols. Australian Navy seeks sonobuoy deployment patterns. Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force studies tracking methodology. The operation demonstrates capabilities that reshape international anti-submarine doctrine. Private security companies analyze implications. Commercial shipping companies increase cooperation with military forces. Insurance rates adjust based on demonstrated American response capability. Economic ripple effects extend across maritime industry. The environmental impact receives attention. 3 submarines sunk. Cocaine contamination. Fuel spillage. Debris fields. Environmental agencies coordinate cleanup. Marine biologists study impact. But consensus agrees. Removing armed submarines from Caribbean waters benefits everyone more than temporary pollution concerns. Colombian government publicly thanks United States. President issues statement praising rapid response eliminating submarine threat to regional security. Requests expanded cooperation. Offers additional basing rights. The diplomatic benefits exceed operational costs. Venezuelan government remains silent. Officially denies any knowledge of cartel submarines. Unofficially pressures cartels to avoid further escalation. The political calculation shifts. American response too devastating to justify cartel operations from Venezuelan territory. Regional cartel leadership meets secretly. Debate future strategy. Some advocate revenge attacks. Others counsel restraint. Hardliners argue for escalation. Pragmatists note July 19th proved escalation brings extinction. Eventually, pragmatists win. New policy. Avoid American forces completely. No attacks, no weapons. Run if interdicted. Don't fight. The strategic victory proves complete, not just destroying 3 submarines, but changing cartel behavior permanently. Deterrence achieved through demonstrated overwhelming response. Subscribe to Global Warfare TV, where criminal ambition meets military reality. Hit notification bell. Next episode, how U.S. attack submarines dominate undersea warfare. The stealth capability will amaze you. Like this breakdown? Comment which kill impressed you most. ASROC engagement? MK-48 torpedo? Multi-platform coordination? Your engagement shapes future content. This is Global Warfare TV, where Narco-Sub fires torpedo at Coast Guard, where Navy responds with overwhelming force, where Caribbean becomes submarine graveyard, where criminal organizations learn that attacking American military forces brings swift extinction. Subscribe, stay lethal, stay informed, stay dominant. Because maritime security requires demonstrated capability to destroy threats decisively. Counter-narcotics operations aren't just law enforcement, they're military operations against increasingly sophisticated adversaries. Caribbean Sea remains secure. Drug smuggling remains disrupted. American forces remain protected. Not through restraint, through proven willingness to destroy threats completely. July 19, 2024. Marks day cartels learned submarines don't provide immunity. Torpedoes don't prevent consequences. Attacking Americans brings response that eliminates threats and capabilities permanently. 17 minutes from torpedo launch to submarine destruction. 11 hours from first kill to complete capability elimination. Forever marked as moment cartels discovered American anti-submarine warfare dominance extends everywhere, including against criminal submarines carrying cocaine and torpedoes. 3 submarines, 12 crew, $54 million investment, $540 million cargo, all destroyed in single day. That's not law enforcement, that's naval warfare, and criminal organizations cannot win that fight.